So in this video, I want to talk about one of my clients who approached me recently, and he mentioned to me a while back that he was interested in selling his vehicle. It's a 2015 Volvo, and he wanted to know what are some of the services that can be done to it. So the first service that I would recommend is an interior cleaning, and that seems to be quite obvious. Now, I know for myself that my interior cleanings encompasses most situations, but in other situations, it may require more work. So, of course, if you are looking into interior cleaning prior to selling the vehicle or trading it in, I would recommend getting the necessities done. So, in this case, the service where you're most comfortable with has to do with, are you okay with just having the windows done, the dashes done, and having a thorough cleaning? This might describe you, but also might describe the person who has a sports vehicle or a well kept car in the garage that doesn't see many mileage. This might be a option for you to just do the basics, and sometimes I even encourage to see if this is something you can do yourself first, and if you need my help, then we can go ahead and get into that together. But where I would come in is if the vehicle is something that's driven daily, then I would say that that's a great option to start seeking out a deeper clean because, of course, when you're selling a vehicle, presentation is key, right? So that's the first detailing service that may come pretty obvious to most of you. Now, the second service that I would recommend, of course, has something to do with the paint. And I have a few options here. The first option is my signature hand wash. Some people may be okay with just taking the car through the automatic car wash after they get the interior detailing done, and that's okay. But for someone who wants to have something a little bit better than that, I would say my signature hand wash would be a great option. Now, here's where things starts to get a little bit blurred. Some of you may not know that there are different styles of polishing a vehicle or doing exterior detailing. A step above the signature hand wash is called the deep gloss enhancement, and this is probably where I would stop for most of you because it's a type of service where it's exactly what it sounds like, a deep gloss enhancement. We're going into the vehicle, prepping it, and then enhancing the gloss. So the short side of it is we're not really focused on imperfections by any means. But what it does do for you is it will go ahead and enhance some of the clarity, but more importantly, add a layer of protection just in case you're not able to sell the vehicle right away or as intended, and it gives you that nice look for a short period of time. Think of it this way: the deep gloss enhancement that I do is very similar to something that a car dealership would do at their level where they're trying to turn over the cars fast, but they need something done that's more than just washing and waxing vehicle. And sometimes they don't even have time for that and they just need something done. This is probably going to be the step above the hand signature hand wash or washing and waxing vehicle. So I hope that makes sense. But if you are the type of person who's looking to sell a vehicle or trade in a vehicle that is of higher value, this is where you may want to step it up to at minimum, perhaps even a one step polishing. And maybe not on the side of the trade in, but maybe it does apply because I have heard of people getting a higher value out of the vehicle based on the appearance that they are presenting it to the dealership or even in a private sale. So a one-step polishing is focusing on a little bit more imperfection, definitely enhancing the gloss or depth of clarity, I should say. But as you get closer to the vehicle, you can most certainly pick up on more imperfections such as swirls and other marring. So you have to ask yourself, are you going to be okay with selling the vehicle, seeing imperfections, but they start to kind of disappear as soon as you move about maybe 15 feet away? So For most people, some people don't even know what swirl marks are or marring is. So if this matters to you but may not matter to them, it still is a great way to present the vehicle if it's a high-end vehicle. Now, if this is a car that's in a very specific collection of yours, maybe at that point in time, just maybe you should consider a paint correction. But I would say nothing more than that, because some people want come up to me and they say, "Well, I want to have my car paint corrected, and by the way, I'm selling the vehicle." And sometimes that doesn't make sense. So you have to really figure out where your car falls along the spectrum of who you're trying to sell to. So that's my advice right there. And as far as having a ceramic coating done, that's probably is going to be a huge overkill. I mean, sometimes people want to have it done just because they want to present it the best way possible. But I always try to encourage the current owner who's trying to sell their vehicle to not put a ceramic coating on, especially if it's a collector vehicle or a collector's car, because in the event that the next owner gets the vehicle, the ceramic coating takes a lot of work to. It doesn't take so much work in terms of the type of abrasives. It just means that it's harder to polish off mechanically with a machine. But nonetheless, it's going to be more money and more work for the next owner in case they did decide to strip it down and put on their own protection themselves. So that's the reason why I say at the most to end at a paint correction. So I hope all this information is useful to you. If it is, please let me know down below and stay tuned for my next video. But in the meantime, please check out my previous videos as well, because I did talk about how thin paint is in a previous one. So that may be of interest to you, and I'll try to make sure that I link that one for you from here. So thank you once again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.